Mobile Suit Gundam 00, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, Mobile Fighter G Gundam, and Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. Maybe that's a different season?
Like an OVA, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, Gundam does that thing that like all the animes do, where they'll do a season of something, and then they'll make a movie of it eventually that goes through the main story beats and then has a completely different ending.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
It's about 200.
You mean the Evangelion plan?
Yeah. I mean, I still haven't watched any of the new Evangelion stuff. I kept telling myself I'd watched it when it's over, and little did I know it would never be over.
They're working on Eva 3.0 plus 1.0 now, which is the last movie.
There's a ton of
naming.
Yeah. It makes a little bit of sense, but not enough.
From an outsider perspective, it makes like Kingdom Hearts sense to me.
Yes. That's pretty appropriate. I've watched 1, 2, and 3. No, I've watched 1 and 2. I still need to watch 3.33.
That's the one you were talking about, TVGP, that you actually own and just have never watched it, right?
Yeah, it was sitting right here. Oh, here it is. Just
nice.
Just sitting right here with a fancy book and everything. Some character art. Probably some spoilers in there. I don't even know. Is the disc still in here? Oh yeah, disc is still in here. One of these days.
The other Gundam series I really want to see is they've been doing these high-end animations remakes of the original TV show, and I think they're calling it Origin or something like that.
Oh, cool.
But like, if you want to order the Blu-ray, it's something ludicrous, like $100 or like $50 to $100, something somewhere in there, literally somewhere in that like price range.
Those are anime VHS prices.
And that's for like a 45-minute episode or something. Prices. Yeah, seriously, it is full anime VHS, like BS. And I've heard it's really good, but I'm not paying that. Like,
no. There was some series I wanted to watch too. Oh, it was like the latest Tenchi series, because I was like, oh man, I haven't seen Tenchi in 20 years, maybe. And there's new stuff, and I looked at it for like a 4-episode Blu-ray. It's like $65. It's like I can't do that. I'm sure it looks great, but there's no way.
Wouldn't mind rewatching the original 3 series and Tenchi Forever, but like I tried GXP and I just could not get into it.
GXP is rough. I still love the original, like the very original one, and I like Forever for different reasons. And I never got into... What was the space one? That was GXP?
It looks like GXP.
GXP was the one that didn't star Tenchi.
Okay.
Starred like his unlucky cousin.
Yeah, that was...
And he was the space cadet. Tenchi Universe, like the first dozen episodes are them being goofy at home, and then they go into space and do this big kind of dramatic space story. And there's a bikini contest in space for some reason too.
So all of those are on Funimation, which I'm looking at through VRV. Like there's the Tenchi Universe Tokyo, 3 movies, the OVA series, Tenchi Muyo Ryoki, and GXP.
Ugh, Ryoki, Jesus.
I don't remember, because Ryoki's the rabbit, right? The rabbit.
Yeah, that's when they it was like 5 or 6 years ago when they're like, we're gonna make new Tenchi episodes like the original ones like you wanted, and I was like, yeah, that's great, and they were real not good.
Like not good at all.
Honestly, I don't even remember liking Tenchi in Tokyo very much, but
it was at least different.
At least Ryoki.
The one that had the new girl that like Tenchi was like all about, and all the other girls were.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay. No, I straight up didn't like that series. Now that
I remember
disliking no magic
that
or space or anything.
Yeah,
because it was basically like putting down all the old, all the old girls were getting put down, and for some reason they were still clinging on to like I think I made through like 4 or 5 episodes, and I was like, I don't know what they're doing, because they're making me feel mad.
That was the one that aired on Cartoon Network. I remember that now.
So.
Yeah, I think Tenchi Universe and Tenchi Muyo are the main ones I liked. In Tenchi Universe, I kind of skipped the first 8 or 9 episodes. Yeah. I don't remember liking those much. And some of the... I haven't seen those since I was like 20 years old, so my judgment may be way off on all of these.
Yeah, the original OVA is still my favorite. It's 4 to 6 episodes, something like that. I think those are the good ones.
Yeah.
Anything other than that. I like the 3 movies, though. Yeah, I like the 3rd one, even though most people don't. Hello there, Brian B.
3 movies? What are the 3? I remember Forever, of course, the dramatic.
I have it up right here.
I'm going to choose a girl one, but...
Let's see.
Pull up the wiki here, because
Tenchi the movie, Tenchi Muyo in Love was a movie, I guess. Tenchi the movie 2, The Daughter of Darkness.
Yeah, so the first Tenchi movie was the one with... No, the second one was the one with that girl who shows up and she's like, "Hi, Tenchi, you're my dad." And they're all, "What?" That was weird. The blue-haired girl.
I don't remember that.
The 3rd one was the one that I really like, even though everyone hates it. And it's Tenchi Forever, where they go in the past?
Maybe I haven't seen Tenchi Forever. Like, the one I was thinking of was the weird dramatic one where Tenchi was... for some reason living with this girl, and she was like some mental psychic snare thing, and he was just trying to help her. Like, that one I remember liking, and he chooses someone at the end.
Yeah.
Out of his, I don't want to call him a harem, but it
go with harem.
It is a harem anime.
I would go with harem. That was like the first harem anime that I ever saw.
That and
before I even knew what it was.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Love Hina.
That's right. That's the other one. Those are the 2. I remember before I even knew what a harem was, I was like, that's it.
Yeah. When did Love Hina come out? This is some old stuff.
Never actually seen Love Hina.
It's not gonna hold up. I haven't seen it in a long time, but there's no way.
I don't remember it having anything all that too interesting, unfortunately.
That was out in 2000. Wow.
Man.
It's a couple years after Tenchi.
That was my prime anime watching time too. I'm surprised I didn't, because I just watched everything that I could get my hands on, you know.
Well, for me it was that I was in college starting in '99, and that was like, oh, I have a high-speed internet and anime is suddenly downloadable? Hell yeah. I'm watching everything.
I remember my father being like, I can't keep affording to buy these animes for you, so you're just not going to get anime. Like, that was the end of the discussion, but it was like, I really, really wanted anime, and when you really, really, really want something, and you don't have the money to get something, you find a way to get a hold of that something.
Free anime.
Just like, please, I need this. And I am 99% sure a lot of the anime I remember is not through legal means.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm pretty sure I know I do. I have a drawer full of burnt CDRs, and I guarantee you one of those spindles is just pure torrented anime. Yeah.
Oh, man.
For me, it was
needed it, though.
LimeWire and eMule and some IRC stuff. Like, it was all over the place. Whatever I could get my hands on was... I watched so much stuff through there, because I don't... That's the great thing about Crunchyroll is, like, I think for people that are growing up with anime now, if you're younger, I think you can go to your parents and say, like, it's $6 a month. And they're like, okay, that's fine.
My father would have been like, that's fine, because I can't buy you $60 2-episode
VHS. Yeah, like,
VHS tapes.
People don't understand. Like, I would go to Suncoast, and before DVDs were out, it was literally, they had 2 VHS tapes next to each other. One had subs on it, and one had dubs on it. It was literally $60. And they had 2 episodes.
And my father was like, I can't afford this addiction.
In an hour, you're done with $60. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I think I must be spending like maybe $9 or $10 for VRV service, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's both Funimation and Crunchyroll, so I both get like dubs and subs of more anime than I could ever possibly watch, and it's like $10 a month. I can easily make that excuse.
Do you guys ever make I can't remember the exact name on it, but the VRR or whatever it was reminded me, like VCRs, isn't that what they're called, where you make like a fake CD-ROM DVD thing? Or VCDs or something.
VCDs, where you made
VCD.
like, oh god, yeah, that was a weird technology. I won't get into why it was weird, but like, for those that are watching, you basically burnt videos onto a CD in a specific way that you could pop it into a DVD player, and it would play those video files on any DVD player. Because at that time, you couldn't pop in like a bunch of files into a DVD player, and it wouldn't know how to play those files.
I am pretty sure I have a Fruits Basket VCD.
A Fruits Basket? Oh, man.
Fruits Basket, yeah.
That's going back there, too.
Well, and I'll tell you, like, back when I got into anime, like, when they first showed Gundam Wing, like, virtually none of the other Gundam series were available in America.
Yeah.
Like, even for the super expensive DVD stuff. Like, a lot of those anime series, you really didn't have any choice but to find some way to pirate or torrent or whatever it. I guess those are the same thing. Whatever.
I remember my father went and bought like a bunch of blank VCR tapes or whatever, and like a bunch of blank ones, and I would carefully record and pause the recording while watching like anime series, just so that way I could keep the entire episodes 1 through whatever. And I used to get so mad when like the what was it, Toonami would like throw them out of order, and I'd just be like, no, you can't do this. I'm making a perfect chronological recording of all of these animes. You cannot do this to me. And I remember the silliness behind, like, people would walk in and I'd be waiting for the commercials to start, and
punched
I'd be like,
in front of the VCR.
you know, just I want to make sure I don't capture it. I need the maximum amount of tape footage here for.
God, I forgot about that. And my brother used to. My brother's like a decade older than me, so like he got me into anime when he showed me like Akira back in the day. Although I was a Voltron fan as a child, so that counts somewhat. But he, as far back as I can remember, always had like the 2 VCR set up, and would always figure out a way to get past whatever copyright stuff was on it, and just would rip every anime from the store and copy it, and just. I don't know what he did with the hundreds and hundreds of VHS tapes that
probably threw them out recently.
He used to have.
Yeah, like we were talking about Steins Gate on TVGP recently, and I was like, oh man, if you don't have time to play the game, which you should, you can watch the anime, which I hear is sort of a Cliff's Notes. And I was trying to find out what the best way of doing, like, watching it, and I saw, Funimation just put all of it on YouTube. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like, you can legally watch an entire 24 episode series for free on YouTube, on like your TV or your PS4, your phone, like your microwave probably. Like, it's just it's so opposite to what it was, being an anime fan in the 90s.
It was hard,
and we didn't even have it as hard as people that were really anime fans in like the 70s and the 80s. That was a nearly impossible thing. Right.
I still remember when I used to go to like a Best Buy, and they would have like three anime like videos on the shelf, and that was their anime selection, and I was just like, oh god.
It was as wide as the sign was that said anime.
Right. It was pretty bad.
I thought the golden age of anime was when like Walmart started getting those $20 or $30 anime sets.
Yeah.
Like, I would just go there at like midnight and buy one and watch until 5 a.m. I had issues back then, but there's like a Walmart like a mile away from my house, so I don't know. was a good feeling.
Yeah, and Funimation, I think, has done really well with those, where, you know, they put out series that are kind of older, but they put them on DVD sets that don't have, like, the extras or anything like that, and they're, you know, $20 for an entire series. I think that's really cool.
Yep.
Man.
And, of course, I love Crunchyroll because of how fast they get the new anime out, so that way I feel like I'm staying with Japan on some of this a little more,
instead That's the real secret.
Like instead of just being like I'm talking about all these animes, and it's like nobody cares in Japan anymore. They've moved on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So
I like the idea of Crunchyroll. I just really wish their library was bigger, but that VVR thing that you guys are talking about sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I'd give that one a shot and see like if it works out for you.
I just looked, and Funimation has so much old stuff on there too.
Yeah,
they have the Pioneer old stuff, because I think they bought Pioneer's old catalog. You know, that's gonna be the Tenchi Muyo stuff. So, man,
I just like the pure quality of it. I think I watched the Cowboy Bebop like front to back the other day, because they've got that on there, the dubbed.
I bought the Blu-ray set when it came out because it came in this cool, looks like a vinyl record. It came in a pretty cool collection. And
that sounds awesome. All right, have we done all the anime talking?
Yeah, I guess we should start, since we got a later start, since all three of us had technical issues.
Yeah.
Oh God, technology. All right. You guys ready to kick this off?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Picking Up the Pixels RPG Love. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we have Musum.
Hey.
And Mina.
Hiya.
Quick plug here at the beginning. I launched a Patreon campaign. I don't know what you really call it, but we have one now, so if you'd like to support the show, mostly just pay for hosting. No one's looking to get rich on this thing. But patreon.com/E1M1. There are a couple of different tiers. You can get a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes look at how the show's made, how I edit it, show notes. We get early access to some of the special shows that come out right now, and some special shows in the future, all that sort of stuff. So, patreon.com/E1M1. Go support the show and help me cover cost of hosting, because I'm a stay-at-home dad. I don't have a job that pays. So, that's go join that. And most of the stuff, if you're watching this live, most of the stuff happens on Sunday nights when I edit. So, plenty of time to hop in now and join the fun. With all the boring business stuff out of the way, Musum, what have you been playing this past month?
Not a ton. My gaming time kind of took a turn for the worse. I had a couple of kind of low-key gigs I did. So that took up a lot of time. Yeah. But I jumped back into a Cosmic Star Heroine. I'm a Kickstarter backer on this, and I
thought that came out.
Briefly started it when it came out, but it came out about the same time as like Mass Effect 3 and Nier and Persona 5.
It came out like a week before Persona 5, and I was like, "This is not good.
This ain't gonna happen."
This is.
Yeah, it didn't have a chance in the time zone it was in. So I restarted that game, and that's a neat little game. The combat system, I've been told, is kind of more typical of Zeboyd games. They did the Penny Arcade Adventures 3 and 4, and they did Breath of Death and Cthulhu Saves the World.
Right.
So you're getting kind of this throwback, retro-looking kind of RPG type thing. And on this, it's turn-based, and all your abilities you can only use once, and then you have to hit a recharge button, which recharges all of them. And it has, each character charges up, let me think, they have a stat called Style and a stat called Hyper. And Style the more style you accrue, I think it's the more damage you do. And then hyper is literally a tick counter where your character will have like 2 to 4 hyper slots they need to fill out. And once they do, they'll do like double damage or something like that with their abilities. So
interesting.
It creates this situation where you're kind of you're doing a lot of buffs and things like that, and a lot of prime work in anticipation of your character's hyper move, right? So you can do maximum damage.
Almost sounds like Street Fighter, where you're filling up your bar to then do some sort of large attack.
I mean, it's the same concept.
Yeah.
When I was playing it, because I didn't play very far, I remember like the only game that I could come up with a cross between what it reminded me of was like Chrono Trigger was what like the first thing that came to mind. It was just like the way the battle looked, and they could link attacks together, right? Like sometimes like two characters would have like something that they would work together with, and I was like, this feels like I've never played any of their other games, so maybe their other games are different, but I remember just thinking to myself like, this is very Chrono Trigger.
Well, the enemies are on the screen, so when you enter into battle, like it's, you know, it doesn't go to a special screen or anything. You're still in the dungeon you're in, so that part is very Chrono Trigger. The linked attacks, to me, that means you got halfway through the game if you got to the linked attacks, because that is a piece of equipment that you get and put on, and the game's allegedly like a dozen hours or so, but my counter says I'm like I don't know, 10 or 11 hours in, so I suspect I'm actually going to spend 15 to 20 in it. But
I see.
I'm going to look it up on howlongtobeat.com.
Yeah. But it's only like 12 or 13 chapters, but the first few chapters are all very, very linear and driven, and then kind of in the middle of the game you get a spaceship. And
awesome.
Kind of, you have a space screen that you go to. Like, I don't want to compare it to Mass Effect, but it immediately made me think of Mass Effect. And there's not very many places to go, so don't like super get your hopes up on it. But like, you can recruit like kind of the bland NPCs that are hanging out on planets to come to your spaceship, and you can equip them for battle, and they'll give you different like buffs and things like that. Like, this character makes everyone starts out with +1 hyper, or this one gives extra defense, or this one gives you a regen or something. And I got like a dozen of them so far, but like one of the achievements is to get like 20 of them or something like that.
Jeez.
So so far the story's pretty shallow. From watching the Giant Bomb quick look a while back, like they were comparing it to certain animes they've seen. Throw back to the pre-show.
Yeah, if you're listening to the audio version, go check out the pre-show on the video.
Yeah, like I think Shoemaker compared it to Bubblegum Crisis, which I've never seen, so that's a bit lost on me. But they do like. There's a fair you can go to, and that is strangely similar to the Chrono Trigger fair. The combat I really like. Like once you, like they kind of do an info dump at the beginning with it, but like when you die in combat, you can immediately restart the battle. Like there's no load time or anything.
Nice.
And because there's no magic points, and it's just that, you know, your guy defends and recharges abilities. Like it takes a lot of the micromanagement out and focuses fairly squarely on the battle system. But it does make for slightly longer battles than you're used to, and they'll do battles every 20 feet
oh, jeez.
In the dungeons. So, like, I was really playing and enjoying that, and you have to manually save in that game. And I'm playing on PS4. And I went to go fight a dude, and it froze.
Oh, no.
And I lost like an hour time or something like that. So I'm not sure when I'm going to go back to it.
Yeah.
But I like the movie, the music in it. The characters are all fun. They all get kind of this kind of movie scene intro that's kind of a cheap animated type thing. You've, of course, the main character's name I've completely forgotten now that I was about to start talking about her. But like one of
Is
the
it Alyssa or something?
Yes.
Okay. Whoa.
That's with the save.
Impressive. I remembered that for some reason.
Yeah. So you have Alyssa, who's the main Chrono style person who's kind of good at everything. You have Chan, who's who is into gunomancy, which is the magic of summoning guns and shooting them with it. She gets very excited anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime she finds. She's probably my favorite character.
She was mine too, for the limited time I played.
Yeah. You get I won't go through all the characters. I'll just go through like the characters you'll get in the first few hours. You get I think Dave, typical hacker guy, and then you get Sue, who's a bald guy and described as kind of dad-like. I haven't noticed any dad jokes come out of him yet, but he's a punchy dude. So he's in a suit. Sue kind of entertains me, and I can't put my finger on why yet, but I think the characters have a certain charm, and the world has a certain charm, and the world is charming enough where I wish it was kind of bigger and a little deeper. Like I think this game could probably survive from that, and it makes me almost want one of these kind of low-res games, but in a big kind of explore the galaxy way, like you'd get out of a Mass Effect or something. But,
right.
That would be cool.
But I don't know. It's a neat game. I think it's probably worth your time. Is it worth your time in comparison to all the amazing games that have come out this year? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be pretty short, I think. So, and then other than that, all I played is a bunch of Warframe. They released a new. I always want to say expansion or DLC. They added onto the game and added the Chains of Horror, and it's a weird horror-esque storyline that you get to go through. It's only like 3 or 4 missions, but it's at the end you get a Warframe blueprint. But I think they did kind of neat in the mission stuff. But it's also like most horror. When they start doing the horror thing, if you just immediately start laughing at it, then obviously it's just gonna be corny to you. Like in this one, like the horror thing in it has like a tag, like a verbal line that they say, so you'll know pretty quickly whenever that comes up whether you're gonna be able to tolerate it. But I'm about caught up with the game because they're gonna add that open world expansion in it here in a month,
which is crazy.
That is, and I don't have our show notes open, but it's interesting how they did that, because I was listening to one of their dev streams, and my assumption had been there's no way a new player is going to be able to get to this in any reasonable amount of time, like for them to make this entertaining, and how they solved that was. They make it available very early on in the game, but the day-night cycle in the world, like daytime is for noobs and nighttime is for in-game players. Which I guess to me means that if you're a new player and running around in the open world and it turns night, you're just going to want to run.
Yeah.
Which could be an issue, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to probably take a break fairly soon, just so I don't burn myself out on it before that comes out.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's all I've been playing.
All right, Mino, what about you this past month?
So, I played a little bit of a bunch of different games. I guess I'll start with what I remember the most first. Persona 5. I've made it to December 16th in the game.
Okay.
And that basically means I believe I have like 2 or 3 days until I run out of time on the palette to go into the palace that I am at. So,
I'm gonna look up a fact so I want to make sure I don't spoil anything. Although I guess it's too late in the game. Nearly anything would be a spoiler anyway.
I assume I don't know. I'm trying to decide if this is the last palace or if there's one more palace after that. Like, that's what's going through my head. I can't imagine how they're going to wrap this up without something happening after this palace. How about I put it that way? I think that there has to be another palace, like one more palace.
Right.
I just, because there's too many loose ends to tie up.
And it's a Persona game, you know.
So there's got to be one more annoying dungeon. There has to be.
Yeah.
So that's where I am. I had planned on beating it, and then just I got litany of problems happening. So the other game I played was Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age or Edition, one or the other.
Age. Yeah.
Age. Okay.
I played a little bit of this too, like 2 hours or so.
So the first thing I'll say is that when I started playing it, and then I reached the part where I had enough people on my team, and I'm like, I really need to decide jobs. And then I paused the game, and I spent about 6 to 8 hours doing a lot of research. And I mean, so if anybody is just like, I don't want to do all the research, could you just tell me your info notes? Come message me on the Discord, tweet me, and I will give you the exact team. Yep. If you want to know the breakdown of why I picked these characters and why I picked the classes, I will tell you why. Otherwise, just take my word for it that this is the best way to spread the jobs across these characters. But honestly, as long as you're not like, it's not possible, I believe, to make it so that way you can't beat this game, because unless you're making everybody be the same job, there's no way to really ruin this for yourself.
You really have to try to ruin it. I mean, there are 12 jobs and there are 6 characters, and each character can have 2 jobs. So now, like, the decision paralysis was what really bit me in the International Zodiac Job Edition, because I was like, well, what if I make the wrong choices? Like, this is permanent. I can't. And now you just pick jobs, and as long as you make sure that you don't, someone shouldn't be a white mage and a red mage. Like, that shouldn't be their jobs. It could be white mage and knight. Hey, you got all your bases covered. It's as long as you pick as long as you pick pretty intelligently, you should be fine.
Yeah. So I can tell you which jobs have the best frames for weapon animations per character, because some characters are better with certain weapons, and some of them are really bad at some weapons.
Yeah.
Like, their frames are awful. Hint, Bosch can be pretty much anything. Bosch is so amazing for a character. Put him on the jobs, if you really want to even balance out your team, put him probably on the jobs that the other characters are going to be bad at, and you're probably going to walk away from it all right.
Yeah.
So I got to, how far did I get in that game? This is a question. I'm trying to remember. I got past, I know where I am. I'm in the tomb, Wraithwall.
Yeah. That's
exactly where I stopped playing. I remember because I haven't grabbed my first summon yet.
Right.
Spoilers, that's where it happens.
The only dungeon with a false wall in it.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I fought the wall, and then I realized, there's a bonus thing here.
Yeah.
So that was good. So I don't think I have too much to say. I guess some things that I will say is that playing through, I played another game, but it's not an RPG. Playing some of these older games that have like HD remasters, something I noticed is the lip syncing is really atrocious.
Yeah.
You'll see like the characters' mouths will just like move like this, and then like the words are just, they're not lining up at all. And I know it would have been way more work to make those lips line up, but it's just a little bit distracting, and I don't remember that being a problem in the original version.
Yeah, I'm playing another game that is from this year that has that problem too, and it's sort of like, I can understand the trade-off of we don't have a ton of money, especially with an HD remaster. It's like, man, how much money can we really spend on this to make the lip flaps sync? But then you look at it and you're like, it looks so good though, and like they went back, and one of the biggest problems with the English version of Final Fantasy XII is the voices were compressed so much. They sounded very hissy and very
they
tinny.
did.
And they sound so good this time. And like the new soundtrack, they re-recorded the soundtrack with the full orchestra, and it sounds so good. Oh, Final Fantasy 12.
I think it's really good. I think it's the best way to play 12. And I think some people were talking about how they're experiencing like lag. The only lag that I see, and this is something I remember being a problem in 12, like that bothered me, was the menu lag.
Yeah.
Which is when you pull open a menu and you're scrolling down towards things. I noticed that there's like a lag in like the movement of the like, but that's the only place where I feel lag. I don't feel, and I'm pretty forgiving towards lag, admittedly. Like I know that 60 FPS feels amazing, but I can put up with, I could probably put up with 20, 25 and just be like, oh, whatever. But I would say that I don't feel lag when I'm playing the game. It's just that menu that's really, really noticeable.
Are you playing on a standard PS4 or a Pro?
I'm playing on the first PS4 that came out.
Okay.
So not Pro.
Yeah,
but I wonder if do you think that might be it? Like some people on Pro are experiencing that?
I know it doesn't. I recently purchased a Pro after my PS4 passed away at a very young age of 3 years, I think it's been out. But I don't notice anything different on the Pro. I'm fairly sure it doesn't have a Pro patch, and boost mode doesn't seem to do much. So, I agree with you. I'm of the camp where like if it goes down to 25 frames, that's fine. I'm not really gonna care that much. But I know a lot of people. There are some games where I get really sensitive to it, and it makes me pretty sick when the frame rate is a little bit wonky like that. But so I know some people are more sensitive to it than I am, but I haven't noticed anything like that.
And I haven't noticed anything, but I wonder if it's because I played the first game, and so I know what the game is supposed to feel like. So when I played this one, I'm like, well, things are better in this one, so maybe I'm forgiving. I have no idea, but I will say that I don't feel it.
All I care about is that the right stick isn't inverted by default anymore. Like, you can change that now, which is just so good.
Yeah. So the other game I played that I played actually a significant amount of was this 3DS game called Oasis. And it came out very recently. I don't know if we talked about its release. It is a super cutesy game. I will say, first of all, if you're expecting like some super hardcore RPG puzzle adventure game, this is not the game.
Sure, and the Wanderer.
No. This is a super cute, adorable romp through. Basically, it's got like a Zelda-esque sort of puzzly sort of system, and with like party members that have all their unique little racial ability powers and stuff, and some of them equip different weapons and stuff that can do different powers with their weapons, and you can swap between all these characters. Like, you have a main character that has to stay in the party, but you can swap out the two randoms with you, and well, you have to. I shouldn't say you can. You have to. And you're basically trying to develop an oasis or a town in the middle of this desert. And as you develop the town, you kind of like increase more of the stuff in the town, and the more stuff you can do in the town. So it's got like it's got like town building sort of.
Oh man, that's
stuff
my weakness. Do more quests and more shops and people moving in the town. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
that's what I love.
It's adorable. I wouldn't say that it's going to be like someone's hardcore experience through like an adventure RPG, but it's definitely like pretty lighthearted. If you have kids, this comes with a very high recommendation for kids to do. The combat's not that difficult. I mean, I found like some of the boss fights were nonsensically hard, because I was just kind of trying to tackle them before I was supposed to be tackling them, because I'm just going to plow through this game and beat it real quick. But it's cute. It's really good. I think for a beginner at games, this is probably a lot of fun. And it's on the 3DS, and it's good. So that was another game that I've been playing. And it's got drops, lots of loot drops and,
yes.
and crafting.
Get those purples.
Stuff. The other game that I've been playing is I'm replaying Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc as a Let's Play on my YouTube channel, doing all the character voices. It's not blind because I've played it before, and I'm planning on also playing the second one, and maybe I might play Despair Girls, which I've never played. And I'm basically queuing all of these up so that way when Danganronpa V3 releases in September, I will have had enough people who are invested in the first few games to jump into the new one with kind of the same information that I'm going to be working with. Because it's a, for those of you who don't know what Danganronpa is, it's a visual novel with that's got like I don't know if this is a familiar term, like a killing game sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where characters are going to die in
Battle Royale style.
Yeah, Battle Royale. It's basically Battle Royale.
It's like Battle Royale plus Phoenix Wright, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's the best way to describe the game.
I've heard that before, and I was like, that doesn't sound right, but yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's got it's. I think the thing is that like the game would sound like pretty like dark, except it's a very it knows how to play with the dark with being like extremely silly, having extremely bombastic characters. It's fun, and I'm trying to do all these voices and trying to get better at it so that way V3's Let's Play will be amazing. So if you haven't seen Danganronpa and you don't want to play it or just want to watch it, I'm going to be doing a Let's Play.
Plug your YouTube channel.
Oh, it's YouTube. Minako Rocket, Minako Rocket.
There we go.
And so it's a lot of fun. I really love Danganronpa. I think I'm pretty sure Danganronpa was the first visual novel game that I played that had like this killing theme, and then once I beat it, I was like, I need more games like this. How can I get that? And that's where I found 999,
right.
Zero Escape, and I was like, this is a thing that people make.
This is a genre? This is awesome.
Is a genre? I need this. I need more of these. It's amazing because it really tugs at you, and you get emotionally invested in a lot of these characters, and they really set you up to be brokenhearted.
Yeah.
So great game. And the last game, and I have only a little bit of memories about this, is Nier. Is it Automata or Automata? Mm-hmm. Okay, Automata. What a weird game.
How far are you through it?
I haven't made it to the first ending, so I don't know if is talking about like the stuff that happens in the game, is that like a spoiler? Or?
I've played a lot of this, so I'll talk about it in my segment. But I think anything before ending A is fine. Okay,
so I haven't reached the ending, so. What a weird stuff I know Yoko Taro is weird, and he has some weird stuff in his head that he puts in games. The moment I knew things were super weird was the first time I saw all those robots, the robot nesting grounds. I don't know what to call it.
Where they light spoilers. Where you go down into that pit and then they spawn that guy.
Yeah, I thought I went the wrong way and I started an optional boss or an optional
dungeon.
I thought I spawned something optional when I first got there, and so when that cutscene started playing and those robots were doing what robots do, I guess I was just
a giant robot ball.
Yeah.
Oh, before that though was they were trying to emulate human activities.
Yeah.
That's so about 40 hours in the past for me, and I totally forgot about that.
It is fresh in my mind.
I'm amazed you went unspoiled on that, because, Jim Sterling, streamed that, and Giant Bomb did, a video on... there were, 4 or 5 people that I watched that I just... like I saw that scene and saw people be shocked at that scene, so I was a little sad like when I got to it. But that's awesome that you went in like
I went in zero expectations on. I was like, what is this? Because I thought I was supposed to go somewhere else in the desert.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, let me, because like RPG like gaming brain starts kicking in. It's like, let me go the wrong way and collect whatever's in the wrong way. But the wrong way was the right way. So I was very confused when I arrived there. And so like there was like, you know, the robot that was like rocking the baby crib or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then like I'm just like trying to take in like all of my visual sensories are like, what is happening? And then the audio sensories kick in to like the sounds that some of the robots were making. I'm like, what is going on?
I totally forgot about that scene, and that makes some stuff in the story parts that I'm working on right now make more sense. Mind blown.
So the first thing I'm like is, what? And then like the little robot you're with or whatever, maybe it's, what is that? The little thing that floats around by you,
pod.
The pod is all like, you need to eliminate all of these things, and I'm just like, oh, and like the 9S or whatever is just like, what is going on? I'm like, I am with you on this. What is going on? And so I'm just like, I'm killing all these robots. I'm like, this is weird.
I don't like doing this.
Slashing them all. I'm like, what is going on? So it's weird. And then, of course, the boss fight after that, I'm just like, what is going on? And then, of course, the thing after the boss fight, I'm like, what is going on?
The trophy, did you catch the name of that trophy, by the way?
Oh, I think...
It's called It's a Bouncing Baby Boy. And I was like, great.
Yeah!
It's perfect. Amazing.
Oh, that's right. I was just like, what is this? I almost wish I had recorded myself playing this game, because there would have been some genuine, like, what am I looking at? So then you go to like the amusement park place, and if I wasn't already in a place of like, what is going on? When I arrived there, my brain was like,
well, you step out of the desert and you're like, it's an amusement park? I'm sorry, what?
So how did you guys do? Because both of those scenarios, you walk in and no one attacks you. Did you guys automatically start trying to kill things?
No.
I did not immediately kill anything in the what is it?
Like that?
So the robot birthing grounds.
Yeah.
Right.
That place, I didn't immediately start killing things because I think I was shell shocked for like, I was shell shocked for at least 2 solid minutes. 2 solid minutes of me just being like, what? And just looking at all the robots, going, why are you
doing?
So another super weird aspect about that fight is after, like, when the guy gets birthed and starts walking around, like, granted your backup, like 9S, is going to start attacking him at some point.
He did start attacking. Like, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to attack there.
That guy doesn't start attacking you until you start attacking him, and then he starts evolving. Like, that was a...
Right.
I thought that was interesting, but I was also a little bitter that I could just not attack him.
I didn't attack at first because I was like, he's just walking, is he doing anything? And then 9S was just like, wailing on him left and right. And I'm just like, well, if he's attacking, then surely I'm supposed to, right? Like, that's what my brain said after, like, just watching him just walk and just like do nothing but walk. I'm like, but I mean, I gotta advance the story, right? So I guess I have to.
This game is super good at making you question whether you should attack something or not, and very good about letting you just kill nearly everything that's not an android,
Fun fact, you can kill everything that's not an android. FYI.
So I did start attacking in the amusement park immediately. Like, I think I went there before the game even was leading me there. Like, I somehow ended up there, and then like I just killed like a bunch of the robots, and then after I got story background on what I was supposed to do, I was like, oh no, I already went there and killed everything, but everything respawned. I was like, oh, okay. Yep. Whew. All right, it's okay to kill these ones. They came back. So oh god, just like every time I arrived at a new place, there was just a moment of, what is going on? Oh, there was that weird moment in the forest where that random like screaming head robot thing. What screaming head looking thing just kind of.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know it was screaming, and I was like, "What is wrong with this?" And I killed everything because I was like, "Stop the screaming!" Just.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing with half of this game. I swear I'm just killing things because I'm just like, I guess this is what I do. That's just a heartless killer.
That's mostly the first playthrough.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to make any wrong choices in that game. If you do, it gives you... So the 5 endings you're trying to chase are A through E. There are 21 other quote-unquote endings that are all either like... It's like a visual novel. They're either a joke or they're like a bad ending. And it'll basically give you a short little summary and then zip through the credits and then get you back to loading your game. So if you do anything wrong, it'll be like, oh, well, here's ending T. We're going to dump you back to the load screen. So nothing... You can't really do anything too bad.
I mean, I haven't been doing anything... I think I've been following what the game's been telling me to do. There are a few times that I've abandoned doing something because I started feeling morally bad about what I was doing.
Right.
There was these two androids or whatever that were like going AWOL or something like that. And
in the Machine Village?
No. They were 2 robot people like me. But
okay.
they had...
They're the ones you had to go to the rooftops to find?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Yorha Betrayers.
Yeah, the Betrayers or whatever. I fought them one time, and then, in the middle of fighting them the second time, I started feeling really bad about what I was doing.
Yeah.
I just started feeling morally bad, and then I kind of abandoned it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let them be, because I feel really bad about what I'm doing, especially because I was like, these 2 robots or androids or whatever they are, they love each other or something. They just want to be left alone. They just want to leave, and I'm just like, I feel like a monster chasing them down and killing them. So I'm just gonna peace out. You guys enjoy your lives.
Do your thing.
And I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
There was there's that one robot that was had some story. She was in the what is it called, the maintenance wing or whatever. She was talking about how she wanted to find where her teacher went or whatever, or where her mentor or something went, and I found what happened to her mentor, and then I went back and I told her.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. I don't want to spoil what happens, but yeah. Yeah, some of those side quests can go there. Yeah. That's true. Oh, I got an email. Oh. Bummer. Yeah, oh, never mind.
She was asking, and these robots, I'm killing robots left and right. I'm not... There's no reason for me to just say no, but as I talked to her and as she upped the difficulty, she got progressively more frightening to me, and I was like, I really don't want to do your side quest anymore because you're scaring me. So I'm just gonna. There's a lot of that happening in this game where I kind of abandon what I'm doing because I don't feel good about it anymore.
Yeah.
If she had just said, hey, could you just go to quest B and kill quest item B, I would have been sure. But the fact that she started sounding more demented the further and further I did it, I was like, you know what, I'm starting to question if doing this for you is the right choice.
The good part is you don't really have to do any of the side quests, so it has no negative impact on the game.
Yeah. I'm trying to like remember how far I got in the game so that way I can give you an idea of.
Did you finish the amusement park?
Yes, the amusement park finished.
You went to Pascal's Village?
Yes,
Okay.
and I also finished the huge robot fight thing that happens where you have to battle them and like the world becomes different.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where
You're about halfway through the first playthrough.
Oh no! I also went to the jungle place, and I encountered that person there. That I immediately started fighting. I don't.
Did you go through the castle?
Did you get to
the castle?
King?
Okay,
The king was the king already dead?
That's a little bit of spoilery stuff for some other stuff, so I'm not sure I want to say character names at that point.
The character ran away.
Right.
Okay.
Fleed. Right. I died a lot to that character while I was.
That's a tough fight.
I had no idea because it suddenly went like it had like a side-scrolling boss fight, and I had been doing some side-scrolling stuff prior, but not boss fight level stuff. So that the combat became suddenly very different from what I was used to, and I was getting my butt kicked because that character does that sweep.
Yeah.
And like I died several times to that before I got the hold of it.
If you're looking to resurrect online bodies, that's a really good place to do them. For that trophy where you need to get 100.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I died probably a good 18 sometimes there, and that's probably not an exaggeration. I was failing hard. But yeah, the game's been pretty great, and I mean it's getting responses out of me that I don't normally have towards games, where I start feeling like guilty and sad and depressed about the things I'm doing, and that's not something that usually happens when I'm side questing. When I'm side questing in video games, I'm pretty much brain is probably having the lowest amount of functions happening, and I'm just kind of like doing this quest, going to point A, going to point B. I'm having moral conflicts while doing these side quests where I'm like, do I do this? Do I don't do this? Maybe I should. Oh, in Pascal's Village, there was a quest in there that I started really like going like, what am I doing here? Because there's that one robot where all these other robots are trying to like interact with this one robot. From all of, I'm trying not to be too spoilery here with this. They're all female robots.
Oh yeah,
it's the Jean-Paul side quest. I don't think that's too spoilery because it's really good.
Okay, that one.
That's a crazy funny quest line.
And that quest line is worth doing just for something like for preparation in the future. Like I don't want to say more than that, but that is one of the ones that I recommend everyone do, if for nothing else, and for a story beat later.
So I figured that the reason why I thought that was actually story beat related was because I think there was like a flashback at some point where that robot in the amusement park, like you saw like that robot in the amusement park, and then there was like a silhouette of another robot, like, and like, so when I saw this robot, I was like, is this the same robot as that robot from the blah blah blah? Right. And I'm like, does that mean that this robot became this way because of that robot? And what's happening with? So there was a lot of like, I don't know if I was drawing like conclusions too early on stuff, but I was like, there's some funky stuff going on with these robots.
Yeah.
that game has like layers to it, many layers.
It's I'm excited for you to get to your second playthrough. Like,
I feel very weird about that game. I like it though. It's making me think in ways that like a lot of games that I've played have just been kind of meh. This game has pulled some real thoughts and emotions out of me. So, no.
Another side.
Oh, go ahead.
As I say, another side quest that is worth doing is the I can't remember the thing's name, but you know those at the very beginning when you're flying around and like the prologue of the game, you fight that giant robot in the water.
Yeah.
There's Ingalls, that's his name. There's a quest with an Ingalls that is, I think, worth doing. I don't think it's story related at all. I just think it's a very good side quest.
Okay. I like the game. I don't know how I feel too much about the main character, but I really like the 9S.
Yep.
I hope Nines. Okay.
Yep.
I like Nines a lot. So, he's definitely. I guess I like their interactions together. The main character 2B and Nines, but
yeah.
He's definitely my favorite so far. I don't know if that'll change by the end. He seems to question a lot of the things we're doing a lot.
Yeah.
Which is good because I'm questioning a lot of the things we're doing. So it feels refreshing in a way where it's just like it's nice that someone is like equally questioning the stuff we're doing, like because otherwise I'd just be like we're just killing everything. So having a character just kind of be like, is this what should we really be doing this? I don't know. Like, is this really like that's a good thing to have because otherwise I'd just be like we're just mercilessly killing everyone and everything without thinking about it.
Yeah.
So once you guys finish this game, I highly recommend looking up the Waypoint spoiler cast they did on it with Austin Walker and Patrick Klepek and Dave Navarro. I won't get into any details on it, but they point out a lot of details that I didn't catch when I beat the game, and a lot of things like the game is very good about continually adding context to events you've already experienced. So I don't want to say anything beyond that, but I think it's worth it just to hear some additional thoughts on it. You know, although the way you're going, Mina, I think you're going to pick up on everything.
So this is something that one of my viewers on YouTube pointed out is that I am really keen on picking up the small insignificant things that become big things later on, and I'm really curious about. So I remember like there was at the very beginning of the game, and this has stuck with me. There was the leader of the Resistance or whatever.
Anemone.
I don't remember her name is. Yes. She made like a comment about my character basically having met her before or whatever, and then I'm like, that's really weird. Why would you throw that out there? So I'm having I don't know, I get like this feeling that maybe there was another character that looked like me at some point that I'm gonna run into or something, or maybe there was a character in the past that looked like me that did something. And so when you get to the part where you find out what she's doing with Pascal and everything, it was kind of like, I wonder if the person that was like, I don't know. I thought that was really strange. So I've been waiting for like some sort of revelation that like there was a character that looked like me or was me or something to come popping up. That's what I've been waiting for like the past 7-8 hours of playing it. Haven't come across anybody who looks like me yet, though.
Well, I think you're narrowing in on the ending to your first playthrough. You got a few hours left, but
yeah,
you're on the downhill slope, I think.
I don't even know how it's all gonna wrap up, to be honest. The more I think about it, I'm just like, I have no idea what
this is a really hard game to discuss.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a really hard time when I talk about it in a minute.
There's I guess the thing is I already don't like certain characters. Like, I'm cool with that Resistance lady, Anemone. I'm cool with that character. I don't really care for the character back on base.
In the bunker?
The leader?
Commander?
The bunker. Commander. I don't... Yeah. Something's wrong with that character. I don't like...
She's a tough
I get the
lady.
heebie-jeebies. And I also... This has been bothering me, too. And I don't know if that's a spoiler thing, but, like... I've been wondering, like... Because when I go back on base, everything's black and white there.
Yeah.
Like, there's absolutely zero color to that world. And I almost think that, like, is the base, like, virtual? And, like, we're all... When we go to base, is, like, base, like, this virtual space that we're walking around in or something?
Oh, wow. That's... I never thought about that. I bet it is.
This isn't a spoiler, but... oh boy, you will know what virtual space looks like when you run into it because it looks really cool, and there's a really good point where the bunker does have color, and it's really important.
Oh, okay. Because it's really weird that the bunker doesn't have color.
I think what they're trying to do is, because it's in space, I think they're trying to say, well, this is the Earth and it has color. This is out in space, so it's grayscale. I think they're just saying, oh, these things look different.
So what's funny is the first time, so when I played this game, I was working for my new job out of town, and I was living in a hotel room for a week. So when it went to black and white, I'm like, oh crap, did my HDMI cable go bad? What?
Yeah, because there's no real indication.
Yeah. Like I was Googling it, and oh, okay, other people had this question too. It's just that way.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't think of that actually, but I was just like, I'm playing it on Steam, so I was just like, what is, and I can look at my other monitors and stuff. I'm like, what is going on here? Why is it like this?
Yeah.
So it was just a weird thing. That's about all I can really think about to say about that game. Still going for that first ending.
Yeah.
So.
Did you play anything else this month?
I don't know. I think that's it. What about you, Boston?
The Destiny 2 beta was this past month for a long weekend. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it's sort of a little older at this point, and we're about a month away from Destiny 2 coming out proper anyway. But a lot of my fears were smoothed over with the beta because it still feels like Destiny. The shooting still feels the same. Bungie did admit it's a fairly old build, so it's a pretty stable vertical slice of the game. So it's a couple months old. So there's some stuff where, ammo wasn't dropping enough and skills weren't recharging fast enough, and all these little sort of smaller tweaks. But it was a story mission, a strike, and 2 PvP modes on 2 different PvP maps. And it still feels good. It still feels like Destiny. I think if they can take that solid gameplay framework they eventually got to with Destiny 1, and they can lay it on top of... I hope that they have the amount of content they're saying they will, because if they do, then I think Destiny 2 can be and sort of live up to the promise that the first one was supposed to. First one sort of eventually got close to with the amount of content they put in, but I'm sort of cautiously optimistic at this point. As much as I loved the first Destiny, I will be the first to admit that the amount of content that Destiny 1 launched with was obviously pretty thin, and even after a handful of expansions, it was still not as deep as it could have been. So I'm really hoping they knock it out of the park with 2. And if they don't, like I said on TVGP, I'm not sure that Activision will give them another shot. So we will see in about a month and a couple days. But the other game I've been playing is I'm about 40 to 45 hours into Nier Automata. I am rapidly approaching ending C, which will give me my 8th ending. I have a handful of other miscellaneous endings. I definitely won't spoil anything for Mina here. Musim, did you finish? You finished the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I haven't done ending E yet because I want to get a lot more of the miscellaneous ones and finish more of the side quests. And they give you, after you beat C, I don't think this is a significant spoiler, but they give you a chapter select.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot easier to go and walk around and do that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and
but
I'm side quests and all that sort of stuff.
I haven't gotten any random endings. Is there?
You're too early for a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Or they're kind of obscure.
Okay.
Like, an easy one you could get right now if you wanted is just pull your brain chip.
Yeah, destroy your OS
you can
chip.
do that?
Yeah.
It's that chip that says if you remove this, you die. And you remove it, and you die. Like, there's absolutely nothing interesting about it. Like, you literally remove it, you die, quick credits scroll.
I will do that
Back to the
because I
game.
want to see an ending.
Yeah. Nier Automata is really interesting, and it's the more I play it, the more it's moving up my top 10 list. I think the way that they're laying out the story is fascinating, and I understand why people love Nier so much, because playthrough A is complemented by playthrough B. Playthrough B is playthrough A from a different viewpoint, and it gives you so much more story and simultaneously explains a lot of the stuff from playthrough A, where, you know, Mina and I were playing, I don't understand what is going on here. Playthrough B, you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And really sad. Okay. And then playthrough C continues the storyline that A and B ended on. And I definitely don't want to spoil anything, but I've been doing all the side quests. I'm about 75% of the way through side quests. I did the majority of them on playthrough B. The further I go in this game, the more it crushes my soul, and it's easily one of the saddest things I've ever played. Just hands down.
A non-spoiler thing, but I'm curious. When the game makes you start from, playthrough, I guess when you get to B or whatever, do you start with all of the stuff you worked on through A? Okay, I was just not spoilery. I just wanted to know.
Side quests, for the most part, do not transfer.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, the only ones that really transfer is there's a battle bot guy you can fight.
Yeah.
His stuff
Father
carries
Servo.
over. Yeah.
Should I just do all these side quests now and live with the guilt of them?
No, just wait until B.
Okay.
If you do them in B, they'll stick. Or C.
And at the same time, I haven't done them all. I've gotten, 5 or 6 of the endings. And, if you do, of course, ending E, you can't really continue on your game anymore. But,
right.
It's really easy just to fly through with the chapter select and go and grab them all.
Yeah,
I see.
Once you beat C, it'll give you a... when you go to load your game, it's like load controls or settings. It'll give you another option that says chapter select. And at that point, you can pick very specific scenes from the game or very specific story beats. And it'll even tell you which... I haven't gotten it yet, but from what I've seen online, it'll even tell you which side quests you've completed or are still open. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Some of the rewards early on can be pretty good. It'll give you a lot of money. It'll give you a lot of chips. But if you don't want to do it or just kind of want to get to the end of C, there's no real harm in kind of pushing through.
Yeah, I guess, I'll just push to C and then I'll go back and look at things.
Yeah.
Because there's no, and D is super quick to get to. That is, I won't, I'll just leave it at that. It is very quick to get D.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, once you reach C, your equipment will be a lot better. There are certain quests that I think would be harder without a more leveled up character, like the Lord of the Valley, for instance, that side quest.
Yeah.
I couldn't beat that guy, and I gave up and forgot about him, and then, in the second playthrough, I realized, oh, wait, I bet this guy's easier with this new thing, and it was.
Yeah, I would recommend pushing through to C, and then once you get chapter select, don't progress the story anymore from that point, and just do all of the stuff you want to do, because it's going to pull a Nier on you. Just...
I didn't. So I've never actually played any of Yoko Taro's games. I've seen some people play. Was it Drakengard?
Yeah,
I think it was Drakengard. So I've seen someone play that, and I've been told by many people that when you play a Yoko Taro game, you have to play all the way to the end, and they're like the absolute end, or you will not understand why that game is good.
Yeah.
Because they're like, if you decide ending A is the end of the game, you are missing out. So
well, I think they do a better job with Nier Automata than they've done in previous games. I still don't agree with their word choices here, but after you finish A, a message from Square Enix pops up that's like, hey, thanks for playing. Keep going. Load your game, and we've got more game for you.
Yeah.
Because I really wish I wish on that message they wouldn't have said, like, thanks for playing Nier, because it sounds very much, that's like the first sentence. I wish they would have said, like, this is one of many chapters. You need to load your game again. Instead of being, I think most people are going to read that and be like, okay, that was ending A, that was weird, whatever.
Well, to be clear, like, this is rewinding the conversation a little bit.
Sure.
They very clearly ask you before you go to ending E. And you can decline in that moment.
Yeah.
I do not, like, I've read and watched it online. It's good. I don't think it's necessary to appreciate the game, though. So that's kind of why I'm in a little bit in limbo on E for the time being.
Yeah, and I think they do. I think he does a better job in this game than he does on other games of making ending B and the beginning of your C playthrough feel less like the other games where it's like it's all confusing until the last hour. You know, you're always building on the story. B does a really great job at complementing A in a way where I felt like I was continuing to get new information as a complement to the first playthrough, and then C is pretty short, but it's delivering a lot of great info. So I feel like as I continue to
So it
play,
doesn't feel like you're replaying the same exact game for nothing besides a different ending?
No, it definitely doesn't feel like that.
Okay.
Which is great, because it feels like that almost immediately, but like 2 minutes later, it's very much like, here's some new, different stuff. Which I think is great. And the way B plays, without spoiling it, is vastly different than A. So I think that makes it feel way better. Because it's not just like, let's do this again, drip, 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 you know.
Like, Bravely Default, let's do
Oh my god. Yeah, thankfully...
I was trying to not say that, but I'm going to say that.
Yeah, thankfully you don't have to play through the same 2 hours 7 times.
Please, no.
For a payoff, that was pretty good, but maybe not worth it. Yeah, I appreciate Nier Automata. I was really, really hoping I could have gotten playthrough C done before today, so I could talk about how much it crushed my soul, but I will have to have my soul crushed in that way later today, instead of right now.
Well, and that final dungeon takes a little bit longer than you might think it does, but
okay.
It's not like 8 hours or anything like that, but it's. I remember it being a couple hours at least.
Also, I'm playing on easy.
I am too, because
right.
I've got too many games to play.
Well, I'm playing this a lot when my daughter is sleeping on me, so sometimes if she falls asleep in a weird position, then I don't have both hands. And the great part about easy mode is you can turn auto chips on, which means it fights for you. So
I just don't have... I have too many games and not enough time, and like I've decided, you know what, I really want to just play through and beat this game so that way I can enjoy the entire story and lore behind it. So I'm like, this is a game that I don't feel bad when I flip on the easy, because I play plenty of hard games. And
thankfully easy is really easy, and the fighting is, like you said, the fighting isn't really why you're there. You're there for the Yoko Taro story.
Yeah. Oh, so, yeah, that's why I'm there.
Yeah, the fighting is really good if you want to. I mean, it's still Platinum Games, so it's a great fighting engine, but you can make it really difficult if you want, or you can play easy, which is kind of really fun. You just kind of motor through that game. I just mow through enemies. Yeah. So I'll have it done before we record this next month for sure, but as of so far, as someone who's halfway through it, go play Nier Automata. It is an experience, and I'm happy to say it is not like a thing I have played before, because I never finished the first Nier. And for anyone listening, you don't have to have played the first Nier. There's some references to it here and there, especially in some of the weapons stories, but beyond that, there's nothing major that you really need to know. But that's all I've been playing this month, so let's take a break.
Man. I hope I didn't Did I do okay on not spoiling anything for either of you?
I don't feel spoiled.
Yeah.
I don't feel spoiled. I mean,
especially after what Knob spoiled for me, which I am now finding are 3 of the 5 endings. Is the thing for me with Nier Automata is the less you can go into that game knowing, the more playthrough B will surprise you.
Yeah.
I was trying not to spoil what things I saw on A because, like I said, everything just was mind-blowing every time I came across it, but I didn't specifically say what I saw or heard during the moments of...
A lot of ending A, too, is like, what did I just do? Why did that happen? What is going on? And playthrough B, you're like, well, that's sad. Okay. Oh, well, that's what that happened. Oh, that's also really sad. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm getting a lot of questions and then a lot of my brain trying to, like, input answers in. And
B will answer a lot of those for you.
Okay.
And C will...
Oh, God, you haven't even gotten to... Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just remembered one of the most heart-wrenching parts in the game. I'm fairly certain you haven't gotten to yet.
My heart is being squeezed right now by just the morality of the things that are going.
This game is
rough. I'm having moral questions here about what I'm doing because I'm just like so I actually feel empathy for a lot of android type characters in games, like the non-human characters.
Yeah.
In many games, I've felt pity, even though supposedly they're not supposed to have hearts or emotion or anything like that, because they exhibit some amount of what I'm like, this is human empathy or sadness.
Is going to destroy you.
I feel bad. Well, I mean, like, I've been told by several people that they're just robots, so who cares? And I'm like, but they're showing some sort of emotion, and it's pulling a response.
Look, we're
Pascal
on break, right?
is great.
Yeah,
so
we're
look,
on break.
motherfucker, I cried when Optimus Prime died in 1986.
Yeah, we all did. I think if you feel... I think Nier Automata is a really great story and a really great example of how to humanize robotic characters, non-human characters, because I think Nier Automata does that really well with the androids, and I think does that really well with the robots, especially as a cast of characters that are supposed to be your enemy, because it really is the androids versus the robots.
I'm really confused. Because maybe I haven't reached the point in the game. Like, the people that are part of that resistance, I can't tell if, like, are they supposed to be androids too? Are they, like, resistance androids?
No comment.
I'm very confused.
Yeah, I was too until something I played an hour ago.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, oh. They answer all of that.
Okay. I mean, I don't know.
But, like, also, like, another point to that Waypoint spoiler cast is Austin actually goes into how this game relates to the other games.
Like Drakengard and Nier?
Yeah. And that's, like, he doesn't go into super detail. It didn't sound like he played it, but it sounded like he researched the hell out of it. Yeah. So it's a really interesting thing to hear. But, you can't listen to it, like, until you beat ending D, so...
Yeah, I need to go back through. I really want to watch a Let's Play of Nier and Drakengard 3. Because those are the 2 games that are supposed to tie into the world of Nier Automata in a way that I don't know and I don't want to be spoiled on.
I heard from a lot of people that a lot of the bad reviews that Drakengard 3 got was primarily because people played through only ending A of that game and were like...
And it ran like crap. Like, honestly, it ran very poorly.
The battle system looks bad.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping with, like, the popularity of Nier, they say, let's do an HD collection of all the predecessor games or something like that. Yoko Taro wants to do it.
He's just waiting for Square to give him money. And Nier Automata has sold so incredibly well. I really hope that the first Nier, I don't remember which one we got, Replicant or Gestalt, I really hope they do an HD remake of that, a remaster of that, because I would really like to go play that. I own it, but it's not even backwards compatible on the Xbox One. At the minimum, do that. But
yeah, I would, because I came out of that really wanting to go play everything else he's ever done.
Yeah, and the bad part is like Drakengard 1 and 2 are just, they haven't aged very well. I feel like we talked about this recently.
Yeah, I think we did. But like, what I'd really want him to do in that HD remake is almost treat it like one of those Nintendo collections where they almost built in like a save state feature or something
and just
like that.
Slap all of them together. The PS2 ones, you know, make them run a little bit smoother. You know, but don't do too much. You know, Drakengard 3 came out on PS3, and Nier came out on Xbox 360. You know, turn up the textures on those. You don't have to do a ton of work, but like, put them out as the Yoko Taro collection. Square, I believe Square owns everything from Drakengard 1 to Nier Automata. So, like, just for $40, slap them on a disc and call it a day.
I'd buy it. I think a lot of people would at this point, like, especially when you have all these high-profile gaming critics actually praising it, you know?
Yeah. I think if it'd be smart if they would announce that the beginning of next year after top 10 lists, and open pre-orders then. But
I mean, anything is possible. When I heard .hackgu was getting a
it looked beautiful. Holy crap.
Need this game more than anyone knows, and I never like, in a list of games that I thought would ever get an HD remaster, this wouldn't have made even number 100.
Yeah.
I have come up with all sorts of games.
Apologies for anybody that might have seen a hiccup here on the live stream. My backup recording just failed and restarted, so sorry if anyone saw anything weird. Alright, you guys ready to wrap this thing up?
I am.
1 second, are we still... Okay, no, we are still live.
It looks like we are, yeah. Just had a hiccup.
Frozen up over there, too. Okay. I'm ready.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk RPG releases for August 2017. Out now on PC, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. I cannot keep track of the side story to Legend of Heroes anymore, so I don't know if this is the second or third one. There's a lot of them. Apparently, they're all really good, so go check them out. They're all on Steam at this point, so you can sort of start from the first Trails in the Sky, and sort of go from there.
Oh, I was actually reading an interesting article on this port. Evidently, the company hired the guy who did the
Durante,
the fan-made Dark Souls patch.
Oh,
yeah,
they really hired him.
Yeah,
Durante?
they hired. There was 2 or 3 companies that have hired Durante lately to
I
say
love that
like,
guy.
here are our ports. They're not great. Can you fix them?
Yeah,
and I think that's super cool.
That's what I would do if I was a company. I'd be like, look at that guy. He fixes ports. How much money will it cost for you to do that for us for good PR?
Well, I read the blog post. I think this was, I don't remember what company it was, but it was Xseed, I think. I read his blog post, and a lot of the stuff was interesting. Like, he put a field of view slider in there for people that have ultra wide monitors, because if you have an ultra wide monitor, it's big and you're playing kind of close, so you have to expand your field of view to make it look a little bit more normal. And I was like, man, I would have never thought of it. Cool. That's cool, Durante. Keep up the good work. Next game, and we should be live again. Okay. Starting again in 3, 2, 1. We were just talking about Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition coming out for PS4 and Xbox One on the 29th. I think this is just Pillars of Eternity plus all the DLC out on consoles.
Yeah, it should be really good. I would wait on any news reports on it, because one, on my i7 16 gig PC, like, the load times turn to crap at the end of the game, like several minute load times. And 2, this is a game that controls like a Baldur's Gate, so I'd be very curious about how well the controls translate over.
Oh yeah.
But I really like this game, so I'm in your court. You're not BioWare. What's that company?
Obsidian.
Obsidian. I'm in your court, Obsidian.
Yeah.
I want this to be good. If it is good and is a good port, and you figure out a good way to control that with a console controller, then I am all for it.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least, now that I'm a Yakuza superfan, I'm excited for Yakuza Kiwami coming out on PS4 on the 29th. If you didn't start with Yakuza 0, this is a remake of the first Yakuza game. It launches at $40. This is another really great place to start. You didn't have to play Yakuza 0 to play this one. That was just a prequel. And at the end of the day, it's not going to impact the story about it too much. But go play Yakuza 0 or Yakuza Kiwami.
Quick point of order, it does not launch at $40. It launches at $29.99.
Right, and there's a $40 steelbook. That's right. So yeah, you can even get it for cheaper if you aren't like me and you don't love steelbooks. But I'm weak.
I think I think the Amazon says the steelbook's $29.99 too. I think.
Even better. I am happy to be wrong about this. It is half. It launches at half price. How can you get better than that? I think it's on the shorter side. I don't think Yakuza 1 was the longest of Yakuza games, so this might be a really good place to dip your toe. If you want something a little bit longer, Yakuza 0 is outstanding, and is probably starting to get pretty cheap at this point, too. So, alright, let's move on to news stories. New DLC for Final Fantasy 15 has been announced called Comrades, and it's a multiplayer online DLC, shockingly.
Yeah, you can custom create your own character, your avatar for the online. I've heard that it feels pretty... I haven't done it myself. Haven't had the time to pop it in and check it out, but I've heard that it feels kind of bare bones at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing a closed beta right now. It looks like from this article... you need to have the season pass and PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live, and you'll be able to get the closed test.
Did they not do a DLC for Ignis?
They did.
Because they did the little kid, and they did the big dude.
Gladio.
Prompto Gladio.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get worse with age.
Ignis,
it's okay, I'm here.
Is either just came out or is like coming out in October.
Oh, December. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Yeah,
so I feel better about it. I want a good Daredevil DLC with him.
Yeah.
Crap, my bad. Never mind.
Apparently, episode Prompto was pretty good because it was sort of Final Fantasy 15 Metal Gear Solid. It had like third-person shooting, which is crazy. Apparently, it worked. Final Fantasy 15 is starting to become a thing that I'm not entirely sure what it is, and I really like that. Okay, let's talk about Persona, shall we? We haven't talked about Persona for about an hour here. Atlas has announced a bajillion Persona things here, so let's sort of break them down. There's about 3 big points we're going to hit. Persona 5... No. They announced 2 new dancing games. Persona 3 Dancing Moon Night and Persona 5 Dancing Star Night.
Yes.
If you're really interested, if you're really worried about Persona 3 spoilers, maybe go play Persona 3, because there's going to be some with this game. Both of these look really great. They're coming out in Japan spring 2018 on Vita and PS4.
Yes.
I'll be very curious as to how they explain
Persona 3.
A lot of
how do I ask
Persona
this question
3
on
has
this
2
podcast?
questions, has 2 character questions for me. And I'm just like, how are you going to explain these 2 character questions I have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, unless it takes place in the middle
canon.
of Persona 3 or something. But
that would make sense. That's what they did with Persona Q.
That's true.
That's true.
I'm really excited for Persona 3 Dancing Moon Night because I really love that Persona 3 soundtrack, and I feel like it's a little bit overshadowed by 4's. So I'm happy to see it get another chance in the spotlight.
I'm just hoping like Koromaru makes like a guest appearance somewhere.
Yeah, because 3 has Junpei, Yukara, Aigis, and the main character. And 5 has Joker, Ryuji, An, and Makoto.
Well, and like they only had 4 characters or whatever for 4 too. But what's her name? The Junis girl has a song in it.
Oh, Junis.
I've infected both of you.
Hold on. No. I know this one. Oh God, don't do this to me.
No,
Nanako.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like,
Ooh, I
she
had a
gets a
moment.
track.
Yeah.
I mean, and well, she had a very cute, adorable track. Like, if they have
Akechi got a
Koromaru
track.
dancing around, like, that would be, like, possibly a cuter track.
That's a good point. I
Akechi
mean, all
had
of them
a track
sort of
too in 4.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of all of them have to show up anyway, right?
Yeah.
Sort of more importantly, next they announced Persona Q2 coming out for the 3DS sometime in 2018, probably. This is really great news.
So is this going to have all
excited.
3 Persona teams in it?
They haven't said any details other than it has the logo for Persona 5, like a cartoony Take Your Heart thing.
And there was a picture from a magazine that had like the main character from 5 outlined. They didn't like specifically show anything. We know that the artist who did Persona Q is reprising as the artist for this game, so
good. That's good news.
We can kind of assume that graphically we're going with the same style since it's going to be on the 3DS and same artist.
I want them to smush together as many Persona 1 to 5 characters that you can. Like, just put everybody in there.
Can I just make like a request? Can I please get the female MC? I know she's not canon. Can I just throw her in as DLC? I will pay $10 to have her in my game. Please just let her be an option.
I actually want that for the Persona 3 dancing game. Like, I want to be able to pick the two. I like the female main character way better than the guy.
I do too, because she actually has a personality.
Yeah. She was cool. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting because I'm happy to see them do more of that and put out another portable Persona game. And last but not least, Persona 5, the animation has been announced. It's airing sometime in 2018, and it looks like Persona 5. They're producing it with A1 Pictures, who is not a studio I am familiar with. Because
I am.
What else have they made?
A lot of things. So A1 Pictures is, for a lot of people who are curious, is well known for having a pretty like standard appearance for their anime. If you're trying to think of what they look like, think Sword Art Online, because they have modeled a lot of their animes to look very Sword Art Online-y because it hits all the right notes for people who like anime. So
okay, I'm looking at their Wikipedia page. They have made a lot of very famous things. And they also did the Persona 4 animes, I believe. I think they did both of them. So, cool. I'm hoping that's good. I remember hearing that the 2 Persona 4 shows were pretty good. So I'm hoping this one is pretty great. Because Persona 5's good. And if you don't want to wait, go play Persona 5. It's really good. Moving on from non-Persona stuff, Square Enix has announced they are the release date for Lost Sphere, the next game from the I Am Setsuna team, will be out on January 23rd, 2018 on Steam, Switch, and PS4. So hopefully that gets a little bit of a warmer reception than I Am Setsuna did, because that apparently it was good.
So is it made? It's made by the same team, you said?
Yeah.
So I remember someone in the Discord of E1M1 asking me what I thought about the game. I remember looking it up, and my response was, I hope it looks better than this.
Yeah, they didn't show off a lot, and a lot of what they showed off seemed like it was really early.
I hope this is really early, was my response to that, because I remember it not looking too great.
Yeah.
I really hope it's good though, because it seems like something I would enjoy.
Yeah. And last but not least, Tetsuya Nomura has come out and said that Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming in 2018 and has a Toy Story world. Like I joked on Twitter, Kingdom Hearts release date equals current year plus 1. So until it is in my PS4, I am not entirely sure that this is true. I want to be kind of sassy about Kingdom Hearts 3, but I'm really looking forward to it because I like Kingdom Hearts, and I want another like tentpole Kingdom Hearts. The last one we had was the PSP one with the 3 characters.
I haven't played any of them, so you're looking at somebody who's like, I have no clue.
Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are probably still pretty good, except for the
256/2, Birth by Sleep.
Birth by Sleep. That was the one. That was like the last big tentpole one.
I was about to just start making up numbers like after that.
Yeah.
It probably would have been like a mobile game. Yeah. So I want to be snarky about Kingdom Hearts, but in reality, I really like that series, and I want more of it, and they announced it way too early.
Trailer looks gorgeous. It's just, I guess I wouldn't, if I was a Kingdom Hearts fan, I would just be like, I'm not going to get excited about it until like it's a month before release date and they're still confirming and they've got trailers out on TV and stuff.
It's gone gold.
Once gone gold, that is when I will start caring, and I suggest that to be for anybody who doesn't want to be severely disappointed by release dates.
When Amazon says Kingdom Hearts 3 has shipped, then I can start getting excited.
Get excited at that point.
All right, let's talk about, we have one question here from Discord from Superman's Socks. Says, are there any games that after you played you want to consume? Nah, we should be live again. All right. So any games we've consumed, everything else. Superman Socks explains the exact thing I did after playing Witcher 3, where it's like, the books are supposed to be good. I'll buy the books. I read the first one, which was not great until about 75% of the way through, where Dandelion shows up, and then it got really good, and then the next set of stories was like book 4 in the US, so I started reading that, and it was pretty good until another book series I was reading came out, and I switched over to that, and I haven't been back yet.
I feel like I do that with everything I really get into.
Yeah.
Like it started in I think 5th or 6th grade with Betrayal at Krondor. It took me a while to get into that game, but once I did, I was like, wait, there's a book series based on this? And then I went and read all the Raymond E. Feist series books, which are, I haven't read them in years, but they're sexist.
Oh, yeah.
They're 100% like, if you just want a story about men doing men stuff and women staying home, like that's, like it's still a neat world he's built and everything like that, but they are 100% like, I guess he doesn't outright be menacing to women, but he's they don't have a lot of advocacy in the game.
Yeah, it's sort of like some old fantasy can be, where it's like, oh, that's not okay anymore. Oh, yikes.
Yeah. But like, I mean, Shin Megami Tensei, like in Persona, like that started for me with Nocturne. I got Nocturne and I got the strategy guide for it, and then just dove into everything that I could with it. Like, I haven't, unfortunately, seen a lot of the anime stuff, but at the same time, since the anime is such a repeat of the game stuff, it's
yeah, there's almost no
kind
point.
of like, is this really necessary? But
yeah.
How about you guys?
For me, there were like a couple of games that I really did this with. I remember the one that I really went back and played was, I got into Fallout 3 New Vegas. Like that was the first Fallout I played. And I remember going to myself, I was like, Fallout 3 New Vegas, I guess there must be at least, like, 2 more, right? And then I kind of, rather than play through 1 and 2, which I was told by someone to not play 1 and 2, they were like, just watch or read up on 1 and 2, because they didn't think I would enjoy it. I read through character biographies, optional choices. Like, I went through dialogue trees. Yeah, I wikied 1 and 2 really, really hard, but I was like, 3 seems close enough to what I was playing that I think I could just jump in and play that. And then the other one was, I remembered I bought another Elder Scrolls game, and I played maybe 2 hours of it before I was like, I don't think so, and I bounced out. It was probably Oblivion.
That's what I did with Oblivion too, where I'm like, yeah, I'm okay.
I got the idea.
Yeah.
And then I remember when Skyrim came out, everyone was just telling me, you need to play Skyrim. It's really good. You'll enjoy it. You'll have fun. And I was just like, I don't know. I played Oblivion for 2 hours, and I didn't really like it. I don't think I want to try playing another game that's $60 that I'm not going to like. And they're like, come on, just try it. And I remember I was like, I'll give it a go. And I remember I stayed up and I played like, I was only going to play for 2 hours. I ended up playing for 12 and 13. I was like, this is amazing. The lore,
so
the
good.
story. And then I had to, of course, I was like, well, I don't really want to play the older games because I don't think I like it. Because if any indication of like me like quitting after 2 hours of Oblivion says anything,
right?
Probably won't enjoy the older ones. So I
control schemes of the first 3 are nearly impossible to go back to. Like
they are very old PC games.
As much as I like Morrowind has a very dear place in my heart. I love it so much, and yet the right mouse button pulls open all your inventory menus and character stats.
Oh yeah.
It is such a different control language than anything else that exists. Like, it is so hard to go back to.
Yeah.
There must be a mod someone's out there got to fix that.
Oh, guaranteed, yeah.
I opened up basically the Elder Scrolls wiki, and I'm just gonna click on each one of these things and just learn about it. I mean, I was the type of person in Skyrim that I find a new book that I haven't read because I made sure I got a mod that would highlight unread books. I'd pick up the book and I would sit there and I would read word for word on every page because I found it interesting. But you could not get me. You could not pay me to play Oblivion. I would rather do anything else.
Yeah.
The storyline in Oblivion's really boring. Like, Oblivion's not bad. It is no Skyrim, it is no Morrowind, but like the world still has all that stuff there. Like all the books in Skyrim, like half of them are present in the other games. Like they just keep adding new volumes, and I haven't looked into it, but I'd bet money that they reword some of the stuff. Like since there are typically centuries between the games. But anyway.
Well, the thing that I guess there was like the character models bothered me, and I felt like the same 3 people were voicing every NPC in Oblivion.
That is 100% true.
Yeah. I thought it was like maybe I just don't know. It sounds like
there's only like 2 or 3 voice actors. It is it is not cool.
I don't know how a story that starts out with such an amazing opening premise can get so boring so quickly. I don't understand.
Like, all the mechanics are there, but they're missing, like, the dragons. And because they chose such a bland... Here's the most stereotypical, like...
It's fantasy
like
land.
England, Europe, night, like, fiefdom land, you know? And, like, whereas Skyrim, you're, like, in this really cool Norse-themed stuff. And, like, I know Norse stuff is getting more prominent in modern day, but, you know, when it came out, it was less so. And it was their first game with dragons in it, and like you go to Morrowind and there's like giant mushroom trees and like all these weird like cultural differences from the Dark Elves from the rest of the world, and like there's and then Oblivion's just I already know all this, but it's the Elder Scrolls mechanics in it. So, but I'm sorry, I'm sidetracking this.
No, it's fine. I mean, I felt that way, and so I definitely went heavy into the lore information on the previous Elder Scrolls games because I found that to be incredibly fascinating. So, yeah, those were probably. I mean, I do that with like Misum said. I'm the same way where when I get into something and I enjoy something, I will, after beating the game, just dive in head first and look as much as I can.
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up before my streaming software crashes again. That's been our episode. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at pickingupthepixels.com. Tweet us at pickinguppixels. Email us fans@pickingupthepixels.com. Come join the Discord server. There's a link on the right-hand side of the page. Go be a patron. Patreon.com/E1M1. Get some cool behind-the-scenes stuff. If you're at the $5 or higher tier, you can hang out with me while I edit this very show on Sunday nights. Don't worry, there's an archive if you can't make it live, because it's usually kind of late. That's patreon.com/E1M1. Musum, where can we find you?
You were about to say Mina there for a second. You can find me at DKRSoulPodcast.com. I am John Musum on Twitter, and you can buy my music at musum.bandcamp.com.
And Mina.
You can find me on YouTube under Minako Rocket, Minako Rocket.
And you can find my other show, That Video Game Podcast, at tvgp.tv. And that's our episode this week. Our adventure continues next time.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out with us on the 3-part stream. That's going to be my evening tonight after the kid goes to bed, is figuring out why the hell this thing keeps crashing. So fun. We will see you guys next month. Bye.